Welcome back to the channel, guys, and in today's video I'm going to show you how we voided the warranty on this 2021 GMC dually L5P Duramax. Now, if you've been following me for some time, we had this truck on the channel, I would say about February this year, so a while ago. As a matter of fact, my good friend Todd, which built this pole barn right here at my house, my shop, he has a construction company called Freilich Brothers in Lennon, Michigan. But him and his crew did a fantastic job helping me out with my shop. I think at this point we just got to make her sound like a real diesel.
Yeah, that's the thing. You turn it on, it barely sounds like you started a diesel truck at all.
I want to show you guys the process so far, what we have going on with this truck. Then also at the very end of the video, let me know if you guys end up buying a new truck or a new vehicle, would you void the warranty on yours? Let me know in the comments. But here we go, enjoy. Let's get to the video, guys. Jake, how long you been in business for?
We're going on 9 years here in Chestnut.
Awesome. And what do you sell normally? I see a lot of wheels and tires in here.
Yeah, we do a lot of lift kits, wheels, tires, amp steps, tonneau covers, floor mats, pretty much anything bolt-on is what we do.
All right, so I see some Hostile, I see some Fuel. I mean, man, it seems like you kind of sort of have everything here, huh?
Yep, everything, all the major brands, American Force, Hostile, Moto Metal, KMC, Fuel, pretty much all the major stuff is what we sell.
Very cool, man. So let's go ahead and get in the shop and lay all this out. I'm pumped. You ready?
Yeah, sounds good. Let's do it. This is getting the 7 to 9 inch McGaughy's lift kit with the remote reservoir shocks and their upper control arms. This is the stainless steel series, so it has the bolt-in inlays here with the nice polished inlay and then the badge there. This one's been nicely powder coated, a cranberry color, I would call it.
Illusion Cherry, there we go.
That's the official name, but I mean, yeah, we got the heavy duty upper control arms, improved the ball joint angle and a little bit more down travel for when it's ran in the 9 inch lift height configuration.
So these kind of look like a Cognito Kryptonite upper, and I know they come with the polyurethane bushings. Have you installed these yet? They look really good. I'd imagine McGaughy's makes those, but they look very similar to the Cognito Kryptonite
They
look.
do look very similar to the Cognito and Kryptonite. The biggest difference between those two and these ones, this one has a press-in ball joint where the other ones are all bolt-in. So that's like the biggest difference. It looks like the bushing diameter is actually a little bit different as well. I think the Cognito and Kryptonite's a little bit larger diameter, but still very strong design, very clean looking design. The last McGaughy's kit, we actually did do the Cognito uppers, but very, very similar. They had definitely a good look to the truck. But yeah, these McGaughy's kits are very nice, very complete. They have all the proper bracing in them for the kicker braces and in between the cross members. They have a really nice design to them with all the cutouts. It's just a really good looking kit, and they work really well and ride and drive awesome too.
So now we're talking about the 7 to 9 inch McGaughy's lift kit. What wheel and tire configuration are we going with and what brands?
So on this particular truck, we're doing the 24 by 12 in the front, American Force Brute, 37, 13, 50, 24 Toyo tires.
So as far as the plastic trimming, what do you think? In minor, maybe?
There's actually a metal bracket behind here that we can take out, and that gives us a lot more clearance. And sometimes we actually just trim the face of the mud flap away, so everything in the back remains and it looks nice and clean, but that just gets taken out, so it's a lot more clearance back there. There is a couple companies out there that do make the fender cap deletes. I have some ordered from Kelderman that are coming in for not only the front, but they just came out with them for the rear too. So really excited to get those. Haven't seen them yet, but it definitely is something that will add a nice clean look to it too.
So we were talking about the metal bar behind the inner fender here. It's kind of like the NorCal, like of the 01 to 07 sort of.
Very close. There's a lot less structure in these fenders, so it's basically just the skin that has to be removed. So that bracket actually is only there to hold the inner fender liner, and once we remove it, you know, there's a lot more clearance that's available.
First impression on the lift kit itself, the powder coating job, the welds, everything. I know that, like you said, you guys build show trucks here, obviously.
Yeah,
so.
Yep, we do. We've installed many of the McGoy's kits. Always been a great product. Ride and drive really nice. Always align really well. The craftsmanship on them is always really nice. Then the powder coat job that you guys had done on it looks really well, really nice as well. So yeah, definitely excited to get this one done.
I loved it, man. I'm impressed. I like the inlays with the chrome and everything. I think it looks really cool that way. And then once it got powder coated, it really pops. That chrome just stands out. So I can't wait to see what it all looks like underneath that truck.
Wow. This truck looks amazing. Let me show you what we have here. It's completely done. It's been about 8 months for this transformation to happen, only because we've been waiting on these American forces. It takes forever. These 24s literally took us about 7 months to receive. It's crazy the back order on these parts, but it was definitely worth the wait. Guys, let me know what you think. Black on black with the spiked lug nuts. It just looks awesome, man. Here's the McGoy's lift kit. I think it looks pretty sharp. That dark red that we were talking about. I think Illusion Cherry, if I'm not mistaken, is what it was called. After it was powder coated, I don't know if they didn't lay down enough of it, but the rust that's building up right here, which we need to clean up, which really isn't a big deal. We can get that taken care of. But I think that's really the only defect on this right here. You know, another thing about these new trucks, these new GM trucks, you would have thought that the engineers would have put some more time and effort into these tie rods, because they're still pencil thin. I can't believe they didn't upgrade that. So in the future, I think I'm gonna go ahead and talk to Todd about it, and we may end up pulling the trigger on some Kryptonite or PPE tie rods, some HD heavy duty tie rods. One good boosted launch with this truck right here will probably turn those tie rods into an S. So here's what the offset looks like with 13.5 wide tires on both sides. This is crazy, man. She is wide. These tires are the Toyo Open Countries, and I think that the amount of aggressiveness on the tread is perfect. It really ties the build in together. I think this truck deserves some Boost Auto Parts stuff as well. For example, the smoked marker lights I think would be a nice touch, as well as our new switchbacks. This one here on the side, as well as the trim up here. I think it would really tie this up. If I'm not mistaken, they had to install spacers right in the center of these two tires so they don't touch or rub against each other. As you can see, we have the lift blocks installed in the back. One thing that Todd was mentioning to me is he would like some air ride on this as well, which I think is a very, very good thing to do. So this is the body style right before the 2020 version. This would be your 2017 to 2019. And I personally like this truck better, only because of the drivetrain. I do prefer the 6-speed Allison. I think I got the best truck as far as that's concerned. But when it comes to the looks, there's a lot of other features that I really wish I had on this truck. For example, the front end, I just think it looks mean. And this hood scoop, guys, check that out. Look how much bigger that is. And these aren't just for looks, these actually work. Versus this one right here, where it's a little smaller. Also, another thing that they did, which I really like, is this is your DEF, or your diesel exhaust fluid tank right here on the bottom. And then of course on this side you don't see it, it's gone. It's actually tucked underneath there in front of the fuel tank. Of course the newer trucks have that side step right there, which is very convenient, especially for us short folks. And on this truck we don't have that. When this truck came in my driveway, I looked at this versus Big Red. 6.0 Power Stroke sits on 38 on a 8-inch lift kit, an 8-inch rough country lift kit. I thought this thing was a beast. Believe it or not, if I was to line both trucks up next to each other, this would tower Big Red. Isn't that crazy? Let me know in the comments, guys, what you would prefer, the 2018 or the 2021. Configuration in the engine bay is sort of different, and one of the biggest things that stands out to me is this Ram air intake system that they have here. Have this rubber shroud right here, which is your air intake. And when you shut that hood, it couples right there, and that's what sucks that cold air right into the intake. That's where the air intake is now, and it couples to this right here. So a little different, not much though. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do a comparison video on both trucks. But here we go, let's pull it in the garage. Let's go ahead and get some more work done to it. All right, well guys, it's raining today, so unfortunately when I do this job, I'm gonna be dripped on, but it's all good. We're gonna get this taken care of. It's gonna be a good video. But I gotta say, this is such a cool experience to have a very neat vehicle in the garage today. So we're gonna be doing a very small upgrade to this truck right here. It's gonna be a lighting upgrade, but I'm gonna be doing a lot of really awesome stuff with this truck here in the near future. In today's video, I'm gonna be installing these McTuning lights. This is an 8-piece rock light set, RGB. It's got any color imaginable. I've been running the same exact rock lights on my LBZ Duramax for about 2 years now, and I love them. I have them installed underneath the wheel wells. I have 2 right in the center, and then I have 1 on each wheel well in the rear on the box. But I'm not gonna show you guys how to install this. I'm actually gonna be posting an install video on my other channel, Truckmaster Garage. Make sure you check that out. I left that link in the description. But make sure you watch till the very end of this video so we can reveal what this actually looks like in the dark. It's gonna look amazing. For some of you guys that don't know, I did just get this installed this year, the Lift Superstore 14K hoist. I'm not exactly sure how I worked so many years without a hoist, but now that we have one, I'm gonna use it all the time. The truck, I think, only has like 1,000 miles on it. It's brand new, but the access with this downpipe versus all the other Duramaxes that I've noticed, when I remove this right here, which I will be doing in another video on my L5P Duramax, but when I remove that, it looks like it's actually gonna be kind of simple because there's so much more room back there. But definitely look forward to a future video, guys, on an L5P upgrade, because we just received parts, and I think you may have watched that video from PPE Diesel. We're gonna be installing high flow manifold to nut pipes on my L5P Duramax as well as the downpipe. So I think it's gonna be a really, really stellar video. You guys gotta stay tuned for that one. I'm gonna show you guys the differences before and after. I'm actually gonna go ahead and hook up my monitor and do a few boost launch tests before and after to see if we pick up any more of a boost gain. Look at that, super strong. That right there is gonna take a beating, guys. Trust me on this one because I've taken my trucks on dirt roads, bumpy roads, off-road, trailer pulling, whatever, and they've never came loose. When you are drilling through the cab, make sure you use shorter screws because you don't want to go all the way up through the carpet and all that extra stuff. You will hit the carpet a little bit no matter what, just because that metal isn't that thick. But this is going to be your module box, and that single cord is going to go towards the engine bay. So we drilled 2 holes, 1 in each end, kind of lined it up, eyeballed it a little bit, but make sure it's centered. And the next what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm just gonna drill like a small pilot hole, and this is gonna be for the wire that's gonna go right through. It's gonna be right in the center, right here. These front ones can be a little tricky, especially for these like 2014 plus GM trucks, just because of the way this wheel liner's designed. You want to give yourself a little bit of slack too, because if you end up removing this to service anything in the engine bay, you're going to want plenty of lead in order for this to come all the way down so you can actually get in there. But biggest downside on this one, in my opinion, is going to be if you have to remove this thing completely, you have to trace this all the way back to the module, unclip it, and then take this all out as one unit. Now, it would be nice if there was like a quick disconnect on this wire right here, so when I remove this, I just unclip it with this and I can take this entire shroud out as one unit. Okay, so we're pretty much done for the most part. I'm gonna show you guys what's going on here. Thing I'd like to note, this is a brand new truck, and the wax coating on this frame, I hate it, it sucks. I can't believe GM cheaped out and wax coated the frame again. This wax coating right here, why didn't they just paint it? Why do they have to put wax on it? Moisture is basically gonna get trapped underneath this wax right here and just eat the frame away over the years. I don't know, guys, maybe I'm just the only crazy one that thinks this. Let me know in the comments what you think about the wax frame. All this money in this truck right here and you have to skimp out on the frame. All right, I'm done, sorry guys. Okay, anyways, let's talk about underneath here. When I ran these cables, one thing to note, I actually used the heat shield, it worked out perfect. As you can see right here, everything ran underneath the heat shield, zip tied like 8 or 9 inches apart. But basically it goes right over this def tank. Okay, so we are done. As you can see, the rock lights are on. They look amazing. As far as the wiring goes, it was really simple. Simply negative to positive. I went straight to the battery this time. Sometimes I go to the fuse box, but my buddy's truck, not mine. The problem here is I have to drill a hole somewhere in this dash panel in order to install this rocker switch somewhere flush, like, you know, like right here, you know, or even somewhere like right there. And since we're already gonna be running gauges and rocker switches and such inside the cab, we decided to hold off on drilling any holes whatsoever. So that's gonna be temporary for right now. There's 3 ways on how to turn these rock lights on. One, of course, is the switch like we talked about. On and off toggle switch right there. 2 is the controller provided. Any color you push, that's the color that it'll be, as you can see. And then of course you can make it flash, you can dim it, you can make it brighter. Here's the white light, red, so on and so forth. I think blue's gonna be our color today. And then here's your McTuning app right here. You're gonna wanna download that. Go into the App Store, type in McTuning, and that's gonna be what it looks like. That's the icon. Go ahead and click on that, it will connect, and there you go. And this is how you change your colors right there. You can do it like that with your cell phone, kinda neat. And then you have all these other little options where they flicker and flash. But some of the cons on running rock lights on a truck is of course the excess wiring. You have to find a good spot for that underneath the truck. And the other thing to mention is drilling holes. But some of the big pros on installing rock lights, the white light. One thing I love about the white light is if you're in a situation where you're on the highway, you have to change a tire, or even if you're in your garage and you just need extra lighting in order to get inside those wheel wells. And of course, when you're at a truck show or a truck event or a cruise, how cool is it that you have this nice pickup truck that you could show off, turn those lights on? It's such an eye catcher. It just looks amazing. I personally think that installing rock lights on a truck really takes your build to a whole new level. I'd say the biggest bummer about this whole deal right here is the fact that we wanted to delete and tune this L5P, and I wanted to do like a full how-to style video, install a modified ECM, straight pipe this bad boy, and just make it over the top. But unfortunately, I can't do that on the channel, so I'm a little bummed out about that. I'm not saying we're tapped out on this truck. Unfortunately, I just can't document everything. But I do appreciate you guys watching till the end. This whole process took us a very long time, and of course, it was because we were waiting on forged wheels. But I do feel blessed that I'm able to work on these trucks in my garage. I'll never forget where I came from, but I do appreciate you guys watching my journey as it continues to unfold. Make sure you subscribe, and hey, if you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. But that's it for this video. I appreciate your time as always. We'll see you on the next one. Stay tuned.
Mm-hmm.